Good morning, multipliers.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm doing good.
You doing good? Are you doing good? Judah, there's a vast world out there, and there's lots of people who collect old things because there's been so much weird stuff in this world, right?
That's right.
So my dad collects cameras, old cameras. I one time found a really old sock underneath the bridge one time. It was really old. I mean, it was exciting. It was like, wow, how old is this sock?
Probably
how
like a
many
month.
people wore this sock? Oh, I mean, maybe it was the prehistoric, but I guess you've acquired for us a list of oldest things found, basically, right?
I have. Yep, these are the oldest everyday objects ever discovered. So I have a pretty nice little list here. The first one is a pair of sandals. These are 9,300 years old, they think.
Flip-flops, man.
Yeah, these are what they look like. They're kind of woven basket-like looking sandals. And they were found in the Fort Rock Basin in Oregon in 1938.
In Oregon?
In Oregon.
I mean, how do we know maybe some guys wove them and threw them in a thing, though. How do we know they're 9,000 years old?
I guess because of the way they were made. I don't
Carbon
know.
dating and stuff like that.
They have ways. They have ways. The next is a 5,000-year-old dress. This thing, I don't know how they know it's a dress because it's ripped off right at the belly button.
I mean,
So
back
it
then...
could have been just a blouse.
They were just like... obviously it went down further. They're thinking, right?
They're assuming.
Logically assuming it, but I don't know. Here's my thing. I could take a shirt, let's go throw it out in the thing with the train run over it a couple times, and
Make it look like that, huh?
and then sure enough be like, I found a 20,000-year-old dress, guys.
It might have just been a hobo dress.
And I was like, well, it says Jesus freak, so I don't think it's,
Well, apparently this was actually found in an Egyptian cemetery 30 miles from Cairo, and it dates back to the first dynasty or Old Kingdom. It is made from linen and the earliest clothing textile. So
how the earliest? I don't know. The earliest was fig trees, right? So.
That's a pair of pants. These are 3,000 years old, they think.
How do they say these are pants, though? Where do they get this, like, these are pants?
Look up. They're shaped like pants. You obviously wear them on your legs.
I guess I can see that now. It was the way it was set, but still,
These were found in Yanghai tombs in China a couple years ago, and they're supposed to be 3,000 years old. Apparently, they were used for the equestrians to keep their legs dry and protected while riding horses.
Of course. I actually know what it was. You know how people go to Walmart wearing their pajama pants? This is this back there. Nothing new under the sun. It was just like, they're like, man, I don't want to go all the way over here to, to the guy who sells the goose eggs. I'm just going to wear my pajamas.
Well, it makes sense though, because before people always wore like robes and like dresses, and when they were riding horses, they decided, I don't want to get like, what's it called? Like all rubbed raw on your legs.
I don't want to get chafed. Horse chafing.
Or have to ride side saddle, I guess.
Side saddle, yeah. What in the world?
This is a purse that is 4,500 years old. This purse is the first ever houndstooth bag. The bag was found at a grave in Germany in 2012.
Houndstooth?
And was dated back to the Bronze Age.
Bronze Age.
It's adorned with dog teeth stuff.
My grandma had a purse that looked like that in her little case, and it was like her great grandma's.
Did it look like that?
Basic. Yes, it wasn't made from teeth.
Do you know what houndstooth is?
Hounds are teeth, dog teeth.
Yeah, I know, but do you know what that means like today?
No.
Houndstooth, it's like that little, it's like a pattern. Like, it's like a pattern that people have on like clothing and stuff nowadays. It's like black and white, like...
Learn something new every day, just like I learned this purse.
Yeah, so apparently this is the first houndstooth. Cause
I can see hipsters carrying that though.
Maybe. That's kind of similar. Now these are the first ever socks. These were 1,600 years old.
OMG. They're toe socks!
They're one-toe socks.
One-toe socks.
These are the oldest socks in the world.
Weird looking feet.
They're big feet.
They're big old.
They're dated between 250 and 420.
You know what it was? This was some weird guy, and they're like, he's got like really sharp nails and two big toes.
No, it says the strange shape of the toes implies that they were worn with sandals. Yes.
See? Smart. That's how they still look when you look at them.
That's true. They were used during the Romano-Egyptian era.
It's like, a guy was walking, sandals, okay, let's just face it, sandals and socks are never a good idea. He should have known this.
Well, Dan, if it's in the winter and they only have sandals.
I'm sorry, but you look at, they're in Egypt, it's hot, that's a desert.
They didn't have the luxury of boots.
But it's like, you look at it and you're like, I don't care who you're, everybody looked at it like, what the heck? It's weird wearing those little like Sandals with socks? Mm-mm. Now I know everybody thinks wearing the sandals with the Nike socks and all that's like cool. No. No,
Well,
it's weird.
It was probably cool at one point. Okay, so this is a 600-year-old bra. Now
That
this
looks
thing
like more than what you get from Victoria's Secrets. There's definitely more fabric.
No, it's ripped out in the middle.
Hey, I'm what I'm talking about. It's like, there's
Okay.
not so many secrets at Victoria's.
Yeah. Okay. So, these are the oldest ladies' undergarments ever found, and they were discovered in an Australian castle in 2008. The bra and panties were made of linen and had dainty lace decorations. They were thought to be from anywhere between 1390 to 1485 when they were worn. This is just kind of weird. These were
is
actually
kinda-
worn by someone, which that's kind of gross.
Yeah, it's like
'Cause they're dead now.
It's like like you stumble. You're trying to look for something, and you stumble upon like you're looking for your grandma's like, oh, it's in the dresser, and you open up your grandma's dresser, like, oh, don't ew. That's kind of like that. You know what I mean? All right, give us one more, Judah.
Okay, so this is an actual shoe. It's not a sandal. This
Of course,
is 55.
real. This is classy.
Yeah, this one's a little nicer. This is 5,500
No, it's not.
years old, and it's made of cow, I believe, skin,
Well, that would be called leather. yes.
cowhide, and there's a leather cord that laces across the top.
I'm sorry, but that just looks like it's a weird bag of dirt
No, I think
with some sticks in it.
I think that's the insulation.
That looks very uncomfortable. That looks
They had to insulate it with this twig.
Yeah, let me just stick some twigs in there. That sounds good. Every time he gets inside, he's like, yeah, honey, you like your new shoes? You know, they're real good. They just get tons of little splinters. And he's always poking me. That's what it looks. I mean, why would you stick your foot in there? That's my question. But anyways, there's a lot more, but that's some of the highlights of just weird, wacky, old stuff.
They're pretty cool though. But
if you're-
those lasted that long.
I remember something old we found when we were redoing our house. We found some bottle caps when they built their house because it was built by students. It was built by the school we have where Jude and I went. They had a tech program where they'd build a house a year. They'd build a house, and they actually built my parents' house. I don't know if you ever knew that.
I didn't know that.
And so while we were taking it down to add an addition, we found like where they'd written stuff on the walls and they put bottle caps in there and stuff like that. Kind of interesting.
That's kind of cool.
Yep. But I mean, that was like 1970s. That wasn't
Yeah, not that
necessarily.
old.
But I don't think we ever found anything necessarily older than that. I mean, other than my dad has like some really cool arrowheads. Like he has actually a tomahawk. He has an Indian tomahawk on his desk. It's
That he
like-
found.
Mhm, he found when he was a kid. So that's kind of cool. Let us know something old, interesting you found or heard about in the comments down below. Like I said yesterday too, we're looking for questions for our Q&A. We're going to be doing an episode here pretty soon. We've got some good suggestions so far, but we'd love some more to make a full episode out of it. So let us know below what your questions are. And I tell you what, I guess it's time for our focus unless you have something else.
No.
You're not going to like pull out something gross and make me drink it, right?
I mean, unless do we want to draw from the jar just for the fun of it?
I don't think you draw from the jar for the fun of it, but now that you said it, they're all expecting it. So you get a draw. How about we each draw?
Well, I did draw yesterday.
But I feel like we should each draw.
So technically, you can't. No, you can't look
no,
and
you-
draw. I saw you. No.
What? It's just fruit
Fruit
snacks.
snacks, huh?
Come on.
No.
What if we each draw?
Well, then we have to go get the things though.
Well, we're just going to stop there in a second anyway because we got to restart. So let's draw.
No peeking.
Please be good. Please be good. Reese's!
Okay, if I get something bad, I'm going to cancel that because yesterday I drew something good, and
I'll give you one of my
didn't get to eat
Reese's.
it. Fruit snacks. I think you ate all of our fruit snacks.
There's still a few. I did eat them all.
I'll just get Reese's with him.
So
We have
sorry,
to
guys.
restock our.
We cannot give you any fun gross stuff type, but we'll refocus. Let's just move on to the focus here, Judah.
Sounds good.
Are you ready? All right. So Judah, today we've kind of been all over. So if you guys don't know this, which you don't because we haven't told you, we're actually getting ready to move. So we've been really busy getting stuff ready for that. Signed our lease today. We're pretty excited. So starting next week, because we won't be in tomorrow. So starting next week, you guys will be seeing us in a new set.
Yes.
So we're pretty excited about that. We got a little. This is actually our kitchen right now. So,
Dining room.
and and we maybe could give you guys a little tour, just like an inside the house tour or something. We'll
When
see
it's clean.
when it's all said and
all
done,
done.
possibly. So, but yeah, guys. So this is the daily focus, as you know. So when we come in, we spend a little time talking about Jesus, the Lord of our lives, and just what He's doing in what's doing in me and Judah's life, and what we hope He's doing in yours too. So Judah, today I was considering what to talk now. What to talk about now? The last thing we did with it was in Acts. I'm still reading Acts in my personal quiet time, but I was kind of debating on what to talk about today. And God just kind of laid this on my heart, which was Jeremiah chapter 1. Jeremiah is a really special book in my family, in that it's actually the book my mom decided that she was going to marry my dad with. Did you know that?
I thought it was with a yellow rose or something.
No, well, okay, so I'll tell you. My mom and my dad, they started dating when they were in college at Hannibal Grange University, which was college at that point. And they were there, and my dad started to pursue my mom, everything. They were dating for a while, and my dad showed up at my mom's door and told her that he loved her, and he gave her some yellow roses. When he did this, my mom slammed the door in his face because she got too scared. Like, slammed it. And so my mom was kind of not ready for that. She was kind of like at school. It was a Christian college. She was there to learn about God, have some fun, and just enjoy being in college basically. And when my dad said that to her, she got really scared. She sat down and she opened her Bible up and she opened up to Jeremiah, and it was that I know the plans I have for you, good for not for evil. And it was about marriage and everything. So I don't remember the exact verses she read, but it was just totally affirmed. And not only that he brought her yellow roses. Because when my mom was a little girl, she said that she wanted her husband to give her yellow roses, the man she was supposed to marry. And her boyfriend before that kept giving her red roses, and it made her really mad. And without ever telling my dad that at all, he showed up one day with yellow roses. So kind of a cool story about how God opened there. But yeah, Jeremiah is an important book. My oldest brother's actually named Jeremiah because of that. It's a big factor of that. Yep.
That's so cool.
And so this one really, it's something that comforts me because I'm a whole lot of crazy. Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5 says, "Before I formed you in my mother's womb, your mother's womb, I knew you. Before I consecrated you, before you were born, I consecrated you. I anointed you a prophet over the nations." That's special to me because, as Judah knows and she can attest, I'm a whole lot of crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, all this kookiness that makes me up. Like, as you guys watch more and more of these shows, you'll begin to realize that I hold a lot of random weird facts in my head. I'm kind of crazy all over the place. I have a lot of energy, even though I'm kind of tired right now. I usually am a big old ball of craziness, and I enjoy it, but life never made sense to me before I became a Christian, before I really gave my life to Christ. Like, my mom and dad are both devout Christians. My dad's a pastor. My mom and dad have just really amazing relationships with the Lord. And I remember being a kid and thinking I was not a mistake like by my parents, but I was a mistake in the sense that God shouldn't have made me. I remember being like in sixth grade, I fell in like a really deep depression when some stuff happened at my church, and I really felt abandoned by them, by my friends, by everything, and I felt like I was angry at God and the church. And I remember being so bitter and angry, and it followed me all the way up through high school until I was about sophomore in high school. And I actually almost committed suicide. I wrote a note to my mom and my dad apologizing for my existence, called myself a parasite on them. I looked at everyone else around me and thought I was just this just horrible thing on their lives, and that they'd be better off without me. But what also happened when I was in sixth grade was my uncle had committed suicide, and I remember God just showed me what that did to my mom and my grandma, and he's like, "You can't do that to your mother. I still have plans for you." And this is one of the things I came to after that, was that, all the craziness that is me, God has a purpose for it. I mean, and that's what really the beauty of it comes from, is that, like, even though I make no sense in this world, like I don't fit into any mold. I like technology, I like all these things, but none of it fits me. God fits me, and when you put it into perspective of Him, everything begins to align and make sense. And like, that's the only thing I find courage in this world and find joy in. And because of that, I've married this beautiful girl right here. She's way out of my league. You can, I know, comment below and let me know. It's way out of my league. But she's gorgeous, and so here I am, and I have this lovely girl who I fell in love with, but because of my relationship with God, it made sense, and it didn't otherwise. And it says here, skipping down to verse 8, it says 7 and 8. I'm sorry, but it says, "Do not say I am only a youth. For all whom I send you, you shall go. Wherever I command you, you shall speak. Whatever I command you, you shall speak. Do not be afraid of them, for I will deliver you, declares the Lord." I think it's something so, God, when He sends you to do something, He's going to take care of you. Mm-hmm. He's gonna. Yeah. I don't know, Judah, can you attest anything in that with marrying me, I guess, too? Because I push you out of your comfort zone a lot.
Oh, yeah, definitely. When Dan told me he was going to marry me in a year, the first time he talked to me about wanting to pursue me, really, I was pretty surprised. to say the least. But I mean, I was open to it. I was like, well, you know, what? I was still talking to another person at that point, but I was like, you know, if God told you that, I'm not gonna say otherwise. I'm just not. You know, we'll see.
And it wasn't even like I told her that with this like a certainty or like I had some motive. Actually, I didn't think it was going to happen for most of
I didn't. More like
I was scared when I told her it.
Yeah.
I was like, she came. It was like just briefly after we started talking. Actually, I told you first of all I was going to marry you though. I told you I was like I want to marry you, and that's why I'm pursuing
that's
you.
right.
And then it was like 2-3 weeks later, she came by my office and we were talking, and I'm like, listen, I don't know what's going on. I feel like God told me this today. And I feel like I just got to tell you it. And I was like, He told me I'm going to marry you within the year. And Judah was like, what?
Scary.
Not only that, I mean, God, because of I'm a pastor, and what I feel called to be, YouTube, all the stuff. Like this is what I feel called to. Like without a doubt, multimedia. This is something God's placed on my heart. But it wasn't that way for Judah.
Oh, you mean for multimedia?
Yeah, for anything like pastoring, all this public imagery. That wasn't something you felt called to, right?
I mean, not necessarily. I was open to it, but no.
Yeah, but I mean, with her, I know that I've seen just this incredible growth. You guys watching it, you get to see it right now. But Judah has just grown so much over the past year, 2 years we've been married, 3 years we've been together. And it's a beautiful thing. But you see, that's like God doing something in our lives. And before God made me and before God made her, He made us together to be this right piece, this puzzle piece
for each
together.
other. Yeah.
But you see, that's the thing I'm trying to give you guys is hope that even if you feel like something, you're so scared to follow God, to tell people about Him, whatever it is, God has a plan for your life. He really does. And He made you to be who you are. As crazy, as chaotic, or whatever you may think that is, it was intentional. But it's only intentional. I like to compare it to National Treasure. That whenever they look at the treasure, the Declaration of Independence, they don't see anything. But they put those fancy glasses on, spoiler alert, that Abraham Lincoln got, that made, and they can put it on there and then they can see, not Abraham Lincoln, what am I saying, Benjamin Franklin. And they put Benjamin Franklin's glass on and all of a sudden the whole map appears. That's like God, is that otherwise it's just like my life is this blank canvas I know nothing to do about. But when I put the perspective of God on it, and all of a sudden I put it through His eyes, life makes sense. There's a plan, there's a focus, there's a meaning behind all of it. And that's the central thing that is God. But I only get there by pouring into Him. I only get to know Him just like if I get to know my wife is by spending time with Him. So that's why the daily focus is so important. That's why your quiet times, your personal time with Christ. But understanding that life makes sense when you walk with Christ. Amen. Anything in closing you want to say, Judah?
You covered it well.
So I appreciate, guys, me and Judah, we appreciate so much that you watch our videos. Everyone, if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you comment down below what God's doing in your life right now. Ideas for the Q&A, ideas for future shows too. We're always looking for good ideas for us to do up here. If you want to see us do something crazy, just let us know. But unless you have something else to say, Judah, I'm going to say God bless.
And we will see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.